Hello everyone, it's Elena, and in this video I'll give you guys a broad overview of my application to Princeton University and the different things that I think got me into Princeton, but I also do some more detailed videos on the different components of a college application in the future, so subscribe if you would like to see those videos. Before we get into the application itself, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of context about me because colleges do take that into consideration when they look at your application. I'm from a German middle-class family, my parents are divorced, and I went to a German public school until 10th grade. I took bilingual classes in that school, which meant that I had some classes in English, but most of them were still taught in German. In 10th grade, I got a scholarship for a boarding school in Hong Kong, which was the United World College. United World Colleges are schools which have the mission to promote intercultural understanding, peace, and sustainability around the globe. So thanks to that scholarship, I moved to Hong Kong at the age of 16 and I studied the International Baccalaureate there for 2 years, which meant that I then had completed high school. So what classes did I take and which grades was I predicted there? I'm going to give you guys my predicted grades because you apply to colleges with your predicted grades and not with your actual grades, so I think that's a better representation of what Princeton thought of me at the time. So I took English, Language and Literature higher level and I was predicted a 7 there. I took History higher level and I was predicted a 7 as well. And I took Global Politics higher level, predicted with a 7. And then my standard level subjects were Biology, where I was predicted a 6, French B, where I was predicted a 6 as well, and Mathematical Studies, where I was predicted a 7. I wrote my extended essay in History and I was predicted a B for that one, and I wrote my Theory of Knowledge essay and I was predicted a B for that one too. So that meant that I was predicted a total of 42 points. If you guys want to know what I actually got, hit the button up there and you can see my live reaction to my real grades. Okay, other than that, I also submitted my SAT to Princeton. I took the SAT once and I did not take any subject tests because I kind of really didn't see the point of subject tests, so I was like, nah, I'm gonna take the SAT and I'm gonna take it once and whatever comes out of it, I'm gonna live with it. I ended up getting a 1,420 with 730 on the reading and writing section and 690 on the math section. Now, I do have to say my math score is probably not the math score you want to submit to Princeton, but on the other hand, I am a math studies student, and if you don't know the International Baccalaureate, Mathematical Studies is the easiest course you can take in math, and you don't have any sections on the exam where you don't have a calculator. So the no calculator section in the SAT is actually really hard for math studies students. So that's why I guess they might have been like, okay, she takes this course which doesn't really prepare her for the SAT math section, so maybe they were more forgiving towards that. I don't know, but that's what I would guess. And well, then regarding my application, I submitted my application for the common application, where you have one big essay, and then Princeton had a supplement which was an essay that was basically the same length as your big personal essay from the common application, and then they had some shorter questions, and I will share those essays and the shorter questions in future videos. But I think the most important part are not really the essays, but more what you do outside school. Now, I'm going to share with you guys the extracurriculars I do, but I think it's not just what you share with the school, like what you do, but also what your teachers share about it, because after all, they're the ones writing your letters of recommendation. So I think there's like two sides that kind of like give the college an idea of how active you are outside the classroom, and I think they both matter quite a lot because your teachers can speak how passionate you really are about these things, how involved you really are in them, because after all, you could just tell them, oh, I spent like 10 hours in this, and reality is you never show up. So that's why I think both of these matter. I can only tell you what I said because I don't know what my teachers wrote. Okay, so regarding my extracurriculars, I was a volunteer coordinator at a Hong Kong-based NGO called Crossroads, and I worked there 7 hours a week, so I spent my entire Saturday there, and my commute to Crossroads was 1.5 hours, so it was actually 10 hours as a commitment every week, which was quite tough, but honestly it was so worth it. I also was a debater until 10th grade, and then I switched debating for Model United Nations, where I became the leader in 12th grade. I was also the leader of the yearbook team, and I started doing the yearbook at my old school in 9th grade, and I continued that in Hong Kong. In my old school back in Germany, I was also on the student council, and I was elected the head girl in 10th grade. I played volleyball since 9th grade, although I do have to say I am not a very talented volleyball player, like not at all. But I have a lot of fun doing it, so I continue to play it. And back in Germany, I was also a scout. Also back in Germany, I tutored a refugee child once a week, and I was a trained mediator and mentor with a focus on integration, which meant that I was able to do little activities in my school, and I was also sort of the big sister of one younger class, so when they had fights with one another, they could come to me and we would talk it out. I also worked as a homework supervisor for younger children at my old school in Germany. Now, it doesn't just matter what you do during the school year, it also matters what you do over your summer. So in the summer between 11th and 12th grade, I went to Stanford's high school summer college and I earned a human rights intensive studies certificate there. I had to take 2 classes which were related to human rights. I had to go to them for 2 months and actually take exams in them, and I got a 4.0 in both of them, which meant that I earned the certificate. Now, those are all the things that you can easily like measure on paper, but they also want to see that you have some hobbies outside school and stuff. So what I gave them there was that I said, oh, I write a blog, elenahandrick.com, and I've written it for like over a year and a half at that point, like something like that. I love taking pictures and I read a lot. Now, they also assess whether you were honest about your things during the interview. So the alumni doesn't know what you wrote in your application, so you're going to have to tell them what you're passionate about. And they're going to see if you really enjoy the activity, if you actually did the activity, by how you talk about it. So I do think that the interview also plays in quite a bit. I think that's pretty much all I can say about my application to Princeton University. If you guys have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comments below or contact me through my blog. There's a contact section, it's linked below as well, and you can just write me a message there and I'll get back to you. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos about my college applications. Bye!